From the moment it was discovered, humanity has been fascinated by black holes. Their enormous gravity, mysterious nature, and strange effects have caught our attention for decades. But what would happen if we fell into one? How long would it take to die? Would there be any warning signs? Let's find out together. Even though they are not visible, black holes can be detected thanks to their gravitational pull. When a star collapses, its core implodes and rebounds, creating a shock wave that blasts the outer layers of the star into space. These layers form a cloud of gas and dust, which emits light at a specific frequency. By detecting this light, scientists can determine the presence of a black hole. They also calculate its mass based on the speed of the gas cloud's motion. Black holes come in different sizes. Some are as small as a single human hair, while others stretch over billions of kilometers. However, no matter their size, they all have one thing in common: an event horizon from which nothing can escape. The effects near a black hole are both fascinating and terrifying. As you approach the event horizon, time slows down significantly compared to an observer far away from the black hole. This means that while you only experience a few minutes, hours, or days pass by for someone far away. If you decided to return to Earth after realizing your mistake, you would need to travel faster than light to do so. Since this is impossible, you are doomed to cross the event horizon and enter the black hole. At this point, the only way for you to survive would be to turn around and fly away from the singularity. But once you cross that point, there is no turning back. As you fall deeper into the black hole, everything would appear normal until you reach the singularity. This is because the intense gravity near a black hole makes it difficult for light to reach your eyes, so it's hard to see anything other than darkness. However, don't be fooled by this apparent calm. Once you cross the event horizon, there's no turning back. And once you reach the singularity, everything will change dramatically. When falling into a black hole, the first thing you would notice is an increase in temperature. As you approach the event horizon, the gravitational forces become stronger and the air molecules collide more frequently, causing temperatures to rise rapidly. Depending on how close you get to the center of the black hole, the temperature could reach millions of degrees. Even if your body could withstand such high temperatures, the intense gravity would still pose a threat. The closer you get to the singularity, the stronger the gravitational force becomes. At some point, this force would become so strong that it would start tearing your body apart. Your muscles and bones would be crushed, and your organs would be turned inside out. Eventually, you would be completely crushed and turned into a pancake. But even this is not the worst part. The most frightening aspect of a black hole is its ability to distort time and space. As you approach the event horizon, time slows down significantly. What seems like a few seconds near a black hole could be thousands of years on Earth. This means that if you were to fall into a black hole, you would effectively travel back in time. To make matters worse, as you fall deeper into the black hole, the space around you would begin to distort. Stars would seem to shift positions, and you might even see parts of your body from different angles. This is due to the fact that the gravity near a black hole is so intense that it warps the fabric of space-time itself. However, this is not the end of the story. As you continue to fall, the intensity of gravity would increase even more until it becomes thousands, millions, or even billions times greater than Earth's gravity. This extreme gravity would cause your body to be stretched out like spaghetti, a process known as spaghettification. This happens because the gravity is so strong near a black hole that it pulls harder on the side of your body that is closer to it. The difference in gravitational force between the two sides of your body would cause it to be stretched and torn apart. But even if somehow your body manages to withstand the intense heat, gravity, and space distortion, there is still one last thing to fear: the singularity. As you approach the center of the black hole, the gravitational force becomes infinite. This means that nothing, not even light, can escape from a black hole. If you were to fall into one, you would be pulled towards the singularity, where space and time cease to exist. At this point, your body would be utterly crushed and torn apart. And since nothing can escape a black hole, there would be no trace left of you in the universe. It's important to note that there would be no warning signs before all these horrifying things happened. Since nothing can escape a black hole, not even light, you would not be able to see any light or stars while falling. Therefore, you wouldn't know that you were entering a black hole until it was too late. The only thing you would see is darkness. Also, there would be no sound either, since sound waves cannot travel in space. In conclusion, falling into a black hole would be a terrible and terrifying experience. To summarize, here's what would happen step by step. First, you would feel the increasing heat caused by the friction between your body and the air molecules. Then you would experience the crushing force of gravity as you approach the singularity. Next, you would witness the distortion of space and time as the black hole's gravity warps the fabric of reality. Finally, you would be stretched and torn apart by the extreme gravity before being pulled towards the singularity where everything would be destroyed. You might be wondering how long it would take to die during this process. Unfortunately, there is no easy answer to this question. It would depend on several factors, including your proximity to the black hole, its mass, and the intensity of its gravity. However, it is safe to assume that you would not survive for more than a few minutes. Now let us talk about whether there would be any warning signs before all the horrible things started to happen. As mentioned earlier, you would not see any light or stars because nothing can escape a black hole. Therefore, there would be no warning signs except for the increasing darkness. Additionally, the sound of space is silent, so you would not hear anything. In short, if you found yourself falling into a black hole, it would be too late by the time you realized what was happening. To conclude, let's address the possibility of surviving the fall. Unfortunately, it is highly unlikely that anyone could survive falling into a black hole. The intense heat, gravity, and space distortion would destroy your body long before you reach the singularity. Even if you managed to somehow survive all that, the journey through a black hole would be a one-way trip, and there would be no way to return to Earth. Although the idea of falling into a black hole is scary, it is important to remember that black holes are not all that dangerous unless you get too close. In fact, they are essential for the formation of galaxies and the evolution of stars. Black holes also help scientists better understand the mysteries of the universe. Thanks to telescopes like Hubble and James Webb, we can observe how black holes affect their surroundings and gain insights into the nature of gravity and space-time. Let me know in the comments what you think would be the scariest part of falling into a black hole. Do you think you could survive the experience? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Also, please like and share the video with your friends if you enjoyed it. Thank you for watching.